in terms of the Navy SEAL boot camp / selection process, what is that like? How many people drop out of selection, and what are the typical things that tend to, cut the wheat from the chaff along the way?
The attrition rate by the time you show up there is about 90%, something like that. So it's high. Now, it's a lot higher than that if you include from the beginning, right? From boot camp and going through, it's just a lot of wickets that you got to hit through. But by the time you show up to basic underwater demolition, and BUDS is modeled after the SBS selection, I'm fairly certain. They took a lot of those things, and that's actually where the officers go through the same selection as enlisted, right? Or the same crucible. So there's a lot of cohesion that's built there. The two physical things that send people home are the cold and the sleep deprivation. There's just no doubt about it. It's the cold and the sleep deprivation. And the psychological games are not knowing how long certain things are going to last and the anticipation of what's about to come. Most people quit before or after an evolution, an event, not during, which I always found was interesting. Because it's the fear of what's about to come, right? And so that fear, it drives people, it changes people's destiny. It really does. And so I would say then there's the piece of just physical ability, not being able to run fast enough or swim fast enough or do the obstacle course. Then there's a intelligence component, or I should, as far as written tests, there's that piece. Not a lot of guys get hit for that, but some. And then there's just a maturity piece, being able to manage your time schedule, right? Being able to manage your time off on the weekends, right? Coming in prepared, not fucking up, not, and then there's a luck piece, not getting hurt. Some of that might be preparation before, but some of it's luck, right? And so there's that piece.
So start to finish, from that moment you show up on day one for, say, boot camp, I guess, to finally being able to say, I made it through everything, I am a Navy SEAL. How long does that process go on for?
18 months.
Wow.
18 months.
18 months.
And no breaks. So 18 months solid. No holding patterns.
Jeez. And we hear a lot about this in like movies and TV shows, but what is this Hell Week that everyone seems to talk about? What is Hell Week?
Yeah, Hell Week is a week, 5 days really, Sunday night to Friday afternoon of running the entire time, of moving the entire time. They'll give you and you're wet, cold, doing evolutions, running with boats on your head. I think they say you run something like 250 miles. I don't know how accurate that is, but so you'll do swims, you'll do a lot of, it's just up all night, running all night, and you'll sleep for an hour. They let you sleep an hour and a half or something like that on Tuesday, and an hour and a half on Wednesday, but that sleep is just in the sand on the ground or in a cot wet. So you're fucking soaking wet in your clothes, and they just let you lay down for a bit at like an hour and a half, and then you wake up and you're running again. So that's the whole period from Sunday night, they call it breakout, to Friday afternoon, and then you're growing and running and doing O courses and shit that time.
So it's not a case of, say, you make it through day one, you get to go back, have a little sleep, come back the next day. It literally is 24/7. You're on this Hell.
It's 24/7. Yeah, you don't stop moving, and that's part of it, because the minute you stop moving, you'll fall asleep. So they'll keep you running and moving the entire time. And they cycle the instructors through on a 24-hour thing where they do 8 hours. So and then you'll do medical checks on one day, but they just take you. The doctor will look over your body, check your core temperature. You stand in lines, then they'll hose you down. They'll put your clothes back on, hose you down, so you're wet again, and then back at it. So yeah, literally no stopping.
Jeez. And what are your memories of that week? Where did that take you mentally? How do you reflect on that time of your life?
I was really beat up. Most guys are pretty beat up in their hip flexors because you're shivering so much, your body starts to and you're running, so your hip flexors are really tight, so it's even hard to stand up straight, and you're hobbling by the end of it, pretty much. So, and also the hallucinations, because you'll start hallucinating by like Thursday. You'll start seeing shit because you're just you're just strung out, man. And so you'll start to see things in the clouds, and you'll hear dudes like yelling in the boat, to try to like push something away it's not there, or they'll be rowing and falling in. It's fucking hilarious. But it's magical too, man, because there's these moments that you're like, dude, this is wild. We're out here, right? It's not all misery. There's a lot of misery, but you have moments where you're like, you know, you realize what you're doing, and you have, Thursday night, you realize you're almost done, and you're like, fuck yeah, dude, you're beat up, but a lot of chafing. My dick was so chafed with, oh my God, dude, for the sand going down your compression shorts and like rubbing on your dick, and like, holy shit, dude, it was like it might, and then your body would dry, and then you're like, and you're like, it was terrible, bro. My dick hurt so bad.
Wow, wow. And I wonder, like, during this time, obviously, is this the most physically demanding time of your life, or have there been any other times that have really pushed your body to a higher limit than through that week?
Oh, dude, that's definitely maxed out for sure. That was that was the hardest thing I've ever done for sure.
And I wonder throughout this process, because I know they put a big emphasis on this in the British Special Forces, is sort of a psychological element. So they'll have like an interrogation phase where they take these guys, they put them in stress positions, and they have someone doing, say, like a mock interrogation for hours on end, or making them listen to sounds of screaming children for hours on end. Is there any mental components like that involved?
Yeah. So at the end of SEAL qualification training, so for the first 6 months, it's based on our demolition school, it's based on our demolition SEAL, right? Training. That is the first 6 months. Then the guys that graduate that go into the finishing school, which is 7 months long, which is called SQT, SEAL qualification training. That's free military free fall, land warfare, diving, uh, close quarters combat, some low visibility operation stuff. And what you're talking about is called SEER, survival, evasions, resistance, extraction training. So that's at the tail end. And yeah, they locked us naked in fucking box for days and days, splash cold water on you, have babies screaming and shit. They'll pull you out and they'll just beat the shit out of you. And it's, that goes on for about a week, and then you'll do an evasion in the woods. So it's like a week long of just kind of up and learning how to pick handcuffs, and also do interrogations, because the interrogation piece is there's a legal component, right? So there's the reason why they do it is there's shit you can sign and say, like what happens if you get caught behind an enemy line. And so like, what are you actually allowed to say or not say, or how should you posture, and what should you be doing if they're beating the shit out of you? So yeah, they'll bang you up pretty good and have you naked for days, and where they put us in a box that you couldn't stand up in and you couldn't lay down in. So you're like in this like this angled face, and then they would take us out of that box and put us in a smaller box that you couldn't all you could do is lay down and curl in the fetal position, and they'd lock us in there for a while, and you'd go through these cycles. And so that went on for about a week. And then but by the time, that wasn't so bad because you're about to graduate. So it's like, they're not going to kill you. So it's not like the worst thing. The baby's crying and shit like that all day. It's kind